Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, The Fate of Atlantis, Episode 3, where I've been kind of more or less avoiding the main story. I was given 3 objectives.
That's the adamant metal Elpis told me about. She said I should get the raw adamant without being seen.
And I've been avoiding, like, the main objectives so far. I've been kind of like just circling around the map, picking up the side objectives, and also I'm going to need to grab that too. So hopefully I can also do that without being seen. And I'll eventually, but I think with games like this, where they kind of push you, make it so that a person would want to do the side missions first. Like, and I feel that that's something that has happened in open... Why can I not look at this thing that I'm supposed to look at? Okay, there we go. And there. I feel that that's something that has gone on for open world gaming for quite a while. The stepping away from primary objectives in order to pursue secondary objectives. And that, for me... For me, that started with Saints Row 1. Oh, hello. Because with Saints Row 1... I mean, well, let's go back even further. With Grand Theft Auto 3... There really weren't... There were side things you could do. You could drive a cab, you could collect cars. But you weren't required to do these things in order to progress. They were elective. Whereas with Saints Row 1, in order to progress with the game, you had to do the side objectives. With Assassin's Creed 1, I believe that was that even earlier than Saints Row 1? With Assassin's Creed 1, you had to do the side objectives first before it, and that was part of the main objective. Can I critically assassinate you? Yes, I can. That definitely makes things a little bit easier. I don't think this should harm anything. But with, okay, first, the humans did the strangest thing when we replaced the Metallon's mining machines with them. They began to sing! It has made harvesting ore almost pleasant. I don't think that's actually a good thing on their account. But with Assassin's Creed 1, in order to, like, you're tasked with assassinating targets. And in order to prepare yourself for the mission that requires you to assassinate the target, you have to first do a number of side missions. All of which are very similar to each other, consisting of amazing, exciting side missions. Is he climbing? Yeah, he's climbing up to me. But it looks like I should be able to critically assassinate him if I'm quick enough. And I am. Okay, I really, really wish I could move my camera. Now I can. So yeah, first you had to fight your way through a number of side missions well, or at the very least, missions that didn't feel like primary missions anymore. Missions that no longer felt unique. Oh, and there's a hole I can kind of sneak through if I want to be sneaky. But let's see exactly how far... Oh. Nope, that one did not contain the ore I was looking for.
Looks like this might be where they store the raw adamant after mining it.
Oh. Thank you, sir, for moving. But yeah, that has kind of changed how I've kind of pursued open world games. Especially by the time he gets to... Damn you! I don't like the fact that he just stood right there. And I believe I have an ability to go invisible. So I'll assign that to... here. That way I could sneak around him. Excellent. To believe I've had that for this long and have not used it. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Now where is the raw adamant?
Got the raw adamant.
Oh, there it is.
I'll bring this to Elpis. It's reacting with my staff somehow. Almost like they were meant to be together.
Okay, so I'll sneak around this way. He's going to climb down the ladder. Here's the thing. I would take him out, but I don't want to ruin the fact that I've actually been pretty stealthy this entire time. But yeah, as you go on through this, like, especially with, like, Saints Row is my bigger example for a game that requires you to do side missions. In that the doing of side missions earns you points that allow you to unlock main missions. Like, with Assassin's Creed 1, like, they kind of make a little bit more sense as to why you have to do the side missions first. And they're very tied into the plot. Like, at the beginning of Assassin's Creed 1, Altair acts rashly, without knowledge, and screws everybody over. And so that is essentially the point he is expected to learn. Like, he is supposed to learn the movements of his enemies, the motives of his enemies first, before he acts. And so everything you do, all the side missions you do, are about learning the motivations of your opponents. How they move around in the open area. And when you finally kill them, you don't just kill them. There's also a little bit of an interview process at the end where your assassination target has a chance to explain themselves. So it's about the acquisition of knowledge.
Raw adamant, as promised. Nice to see that you're as skilled as you look. I'm making the right choice to become more like you. You seem fine to me. I don't know why you're trying to change. Just as you were destined to be the Castilles, I am destined for this. I just know it. Humans in Atlantis are lucky to have someone like you fighting for them. You'll make a great leader. I'm glad you understand what this means to me.
Now for some good old chin rubbing.
Still, all you have is raw adamant. Until I take it to a skilled blacksmith so he can forge an Isu device from the adamant. Well, you know where to find the Castilles when you need her. The forging takes time. What we do next will change Atlantis irreversibly. You should make sure you complete all your duties as the Castilles before meeting me at the Loma of Atlas.
Okay. So now I will have to do my primary missions before I can move on with that secondary mission. And that's, I think, one of the big changes in regards to how secondary missions have kind of shown themselves in these games, is that secondary missions are like secondary stories, unrelated to the main story. Doma of Otto Kinthos? I don't think I've taken the armor from there, so I'm going to go there. As you can see, the pole march is still alive. So I should go there next. But I do plan on getting to the primary missions eventually. It's just because there's so much side stuff to do, I figure I might as well do that before just kind of like rushing through to the end. Okay, so I was worried that the pole march was going to be in a crowd of people. But it appears that he is isolated by himself, which is very, very convenient. Still, that doesn't mean it's going to be an easy battle, as previous pole marches have proven. As they've got tons of health, tons of abilities, lightning bolts from the sky. Ooh, this actually might. That went really, really, really well. Damn it. I jumped directly into those lightning bolts. And I don't think this will finish him, but I think if I use my strong attack after this... Yep, that did the trick. That was the easiest time I've had with these guys. The first one it took a couple attempts. The second one took 3 attempts. This one, just 1. Fantastic. Now, I hadn't really thought about this in regards to the DLC until I popped back into the main world of Greece. Is that the Fate of Atlantis DLC has no sailing elements. And that's something the Legacy of Fate... Was it called? No, it wasn't called Legacy of Fate. It was called Legacy... Damn it! I've done that. My finger keeps sliding from the A button, which I don't really know if I really need to hold down for climbing anymore, but I think it's just kind of like a habitual response to climbing in Assassin's Creed games. And it slides over to the B button, which causes her to do that nice little backwards swan dive. But Legacy of the First Blade did a better job in regards to combining the different aspects of Odyssey's gameplay, from sneaking to hunting people down to mercenaries to sailing. Like, all of those elements were part of the game. So much so that the second episode, where you were tracking down this kind of like special admiral, whatever her name was, Tempest, I think I might actually be right about that one. Like, it still remembered the fact that sailing around your boat was an important part of the game. Whereas the Fate of Atlantis DLC... Oh, by the way, it looks as though I've gotten all of the viewpoints. The Fate of Atlantis DLC just cuts the sailing completely out of the game. Which I understand, because what they've crafted with this DLC is much more focused. By removing some of the... For one thing, by removing the sailing elements that allows them to create smaller areas for you to explore. Okay, so there's nothing for me here. But at the same time, this cuts out that big gameplay element that had kind of become huge with Assassin's Creed. It was big with Assassin's Creed 3, it got huge with Black Flag, went missing and dormant for a couple of generations, or a couple of sequels, and then had come back with... Was sailing in Origins? I probably should play that one day. But was pretty notable in Odyssey as well. So it's interesting to see that as a method of kind of like focusing the direction of both the direction and the size, because by focusing the direction on removing the sailing elements, this means that, okay, what can Cassandra do? And it focuses just on ground elements, climbing, sneaking, that sort of stuff. It also creates a focus in size. Each world in the Fate of Atlantis is rather minimal in size and scope. The ringed city of Atlantis, Hades' land of torment, is basically just kind of like 3 pieces of land connected to each other. Elysium is basically just almost like the ringed, this about the size of Atlantis, just with less architecture, more open space for you to roam around. But if you added in a sizable amount of water for you to sail through, like, that would make things much, much bigger, take much longer to develop, and then that would require more traversal. You'd have to have more excuses to be out in the ocean. So it makes sense that it was cut. It's just kind of interesting that you spent so much time leveling up your boat, and then at the end of the game, it doesn't matter.
I should watch my step around.
I'm not sure I'll be able to kill the pole march here, largely because of the level 3 access. It all depends on if I can actually get access to him. Actually, I see him right there. All on his lonesome, worshipping this statue.
You can't outrun me!
Okay. So that's not going to work out. Nope. Alright. I guess I'll just have to fight him. And then let's hopefully do a whole bunch of damage to him here. Not as much damage as I would like, but still pretty reasonable amount.
I'm surprised you're this weak.
Ah, damn it. Okay, let's distract him with this. Okay, and then after that, the assassinate ability should hit him, and then I should be okay. Yep. I'm A-okay. That was close. Yeah, but at the very least, I can also grab this while I'm here. Getting myself pretty close to level 2. Oh, I actually can access this codex. Just have to stab a couple fools. Poseidon's hubris has cursed us, as have the cycles of this city. There are those who would bring true greatness to the Isu, and they are at the gates. Though now I wonder what exactly is it that I couldn't access. Because I didn't have the proper amount of knowledge. Considering I was able to take on the pole march, I was able to scan all the codexes. Like, is there something else that area is hiding? Oh. Okay. This is the Insight of Blessings, which is... let's see, where is... okay, here we go. No. There we go. I need to find the Keeper's Insights. Which are literally... like, I was thinking they were going to be in, like, buildings in the main map. But they are literally at the corners. Like, this said... the description in the quest, described it as being... at the southeast. And it is literally in the southeast corner of the map. Though it's a lot more... oh.
I should try to stay out of sight.
I was going to say it's a lot more vacant than I expected, and lo and behold, here is bad guys. Now what would be, oh wait, I've got an ability for this. But I only have one adrenaline bar. So I'm going to hold off on using that ability for just a second. And I'm going to see if I can... what direction is this guy facing? See if I can stab this guy in the back. Excellent. And then I'm going to stab this guy in the back. Close enough. I'm surprised that worked, because it really didn't look like that should. Oh, then that worked too. Luckily, there are no bodies for them to find, otherwise that would be very problematic. Just their lost weapons. It's like there's a hidden bonus to assassination that doesn't quite show up. Ah, so there's that guy's like way up there. Oh. I probably should clear out the map a little bit more before I worry about opening up, scanning any boxes. And there's just one more left. Excellent. That went really well. Okay, let's scan this Isu thing so I can gain some Isu-related knowledge. And it almost pushes me up to level 2, to Knowledge Sequence 2. Cycle 44.160. After presenting the Solar Dynamics Observatory's predictions on plasma release at the summit of the Three Sister Realms, Hermes, Persephone's high scientist engineer, stormed off. Tension between the Sister Realms is high, but of all Persephone's retinue, surely Hermes would listen to reason. Our delegation was left appealing to Hades himself. The Mad King seems almost pleased at the thought of annihilation. So we're left with one king lusting for carnage, a queen who accepts no truth but her own, and the Trident King who locks himself away in his tower. it would seem solar instability is the least of our worries. Now, I believe the Isu were decimated by a solar flare. And the goal of Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and 3 was to stop that from happening again. So, are they referring to that first solar flare, or the second one? And I think this would be the Keeper's Insight. Let's see what it does.
Yes, I can almost hear my staff's thoughts.
Ooh,
I wonder if I can hear mine.
and that pushed me past level 2. Excellent. But that upgrades the poison ability? For 15 seconds, receive 50% more adrenaline when dealing damage. During that time, you are immune to Isu adrenaline, drain, and freeze attacks. Interesting. And now for some more insight, which I conveniently have enough Isu knowledge to get inside. The Insight of War. What was the other insight for? The Insight of Blessing? Yeah, just the Insight of Blessings. Okay. So there's no theme in regards to the naming conventions of these insights. Like, I would have expected it maybe to give, to connect directly to your abilities. But it looks like the architecture is very similar.
Let's keep out of sight.
Oh, is that a thing of Hypnos? Unfortunately, the range of this thing isn't quite as high as I would like. This radar pulse. And where are you going? Oh, nope. You can keep going where you're going. Oh, and this guy's they're just trading places. How convenient. Why are they storing jellyfish in here? I actually have a body to dispose of. This could be problematic. Wait. I have the ability to go invisible. Ah, damn it. It looks as though my attempt at stealthing this place stops here. Damn it. Okay. What am I doing? I will... Okay. That went pretty well. That went pretty well. Although luckily I was facing mostly just regular goons. So alright, that upgraded the knowledge sequence. A little bit. I still got a little ways to go before... Oh, hello. Mr. A little bit late to the party. And actually, that animation that plays, that longer death animation, makes for a nice, convenient way to be like, oh, hello. A way to let you know that there are no... no more enemies who has currently spotted you. Oh, no. Excellent. And you, sir, thank you for pointing out where I need to be. Or at the very least, where I can get this, adamant ingot. Thank you for explaining to me what it is, just as I got enough in order to make a super cool weapon. But before I go, I should remember to grab the Keeper's Insight, which is the main reason why I was here in the first place. Oh, hold on. It's been a while. Cassandra, public cremator at your service. Doesn't have time to cremate all the bodies, so just throwing torches on them as she passes. The Wrath of Ares. What does that do? Oh, yep, there it is. After 14 seconds, slowed enemies are dealt 250% warrior damage and 50% more damage for each additional enemy inside the area. Okay. So basically, slow everybody down, beat them up a little bit, they get extra damage after it's over, plus however many people are in the group. Nice. But before we go on, let's see about using this Forge of Atlantis. Make ourselves a sweet legendary weapon to defy the gods themselves. Or at the very least, a replacement for Death's axe of some sort. Now, can I choose what kind of weapon I craft? Also, this is pretty awesome. Even if the although I don't know if it would still be awesome if the weapon still like sucks. Like all this build up and you get something that's not quite as good as what you already have. The Isu kept the molds for Hephaestus' last great weapons deep in Atlantis. Collect enough ingots, interact with a mold, forge your weapon for a hunter, warrior, or assassin playstyle. Each weapon can only be crafted once, so choose wisely. So we got a spear. We have a hammer. And we have a dagger?
Access granted. Initiating forge protocol. Select preferred weapon configuration. Modification approved. Adding assassin module.
Interesting. Okay, so I can make all three of the weapons. And also, what is this down here?
We have only the finest goods.
Yeah,
Done. Goodbye then.
a very convenient blacksmith. I was wondering where I can find a blacksmith in this area. Okay, and this is actually the exact same amount of assassin damage that the axe has, but now that I could engrave it with something immediately, which is very convenient. Where is the... There is no bonus assassin damage. There is a selection for... for plus 2% to all damage, which I suppose is useful. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.